They say the truth is unspeakable, the people unreachable. This truth is so pure, we teach the unteachable.
We see
The destruction,
we give
the instruction,
we need
new construction,
we gotta
do something.
Faith,
Education,
faith,
vocation,
hope,
emancipation,
faith.
plantation.
Critical thinkers bring power to truth. Dismantle fake proof with unspeakable truth.
Dismantle fake proof with unspeakable truth. Dismantle fake proof with unspeakable truth. Unspeakable truth, unspeakable truth. Yeah, that's what we're about to get into. Habari Ghani family, how we doing today? On this day of love, this 14th day of the month that we call Black History. We celebrated 365/7, 24/7. But what I want to do is talk about a real serious issue. You know, sometimes I'm hard on politicians and I'm hard on the political system because it's BS. But sometimes you can get people who are so revolutionary that they can somehow bring a turn, a twist. You know, they can make the system not do what it was supposed to do. But these are very special people. I'm talking about the Maynard Jacksons, the Harold Washingtons, the Marion Barrys. Maynard Jackson, oh, did you see what he did in Atlanta? Oh my goodness, from 1979 to 1991. And then again from 1995 to 1999, he did some great things from economic development. He turned little country Georgia into a metropolis in Atlanta that they call Chocolate City. And that's why the airport is now named after him. Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, that international airport, that was because of him. And think about all of the development that came and what still comes because of what he did. He also did some revolutionary things with the police department. So don't tell me, you don't want to hear defund the police. Well, let's alter the police so it works for everybody. But then also you got Harold Washington. Oh, in 1983, I was only 11, and this is on the heels of him and Jesse Jackson running for the 84 presidential election. And I'm going to tell you, as a young black man, I started to think, man, maybe there was hope. It was things that people said, I never thought this would be. So even though I thought I might die before I was 24, I also had a belief that, man, maybe there is some hope. And when I saw what Harold Washington did, but I also saw how he was treated, I said, ooh, he died in 1987. They said he died of a heart attack, but we always wondered, what's something funny about that? I know what the autopsy and the coroner report said, but something never felt right about this powerful black man doing some things. Then we saw it again in Oakland when Bobby Seals ran, that old Black Panther founder. He didn't win, but he made a great big push. But you know who we got? We can't talk about black mayors if we don't talk about the mayor for life. When we talk about Marion Barry, see, now people want to say, oh, he was a crackhead. Barack Obama admitted to using cocaine in the audacity of hope. We still love him. But what we got to do is recognize that as much as Obama did, and I know his hands was tied sort of like a Jackie Robinson or a Joe Louis, but Marion Barry, he was Muhammad Ali. He came out swinging. He said, I'm going to make Chocolate City. And that's what he did with Washington, D.C. And that's why even after the crack epidemic, the people voted him back because they knew what he was about. He was a great man, a great vision. They thought he could be the first black president actually when he was running. But even though we see the end part of him, this is the great documentary on HBO called The 9 Lives of Marion Barry. You got to check that out because you see the beautifulness of this man. You see the power in this man and you see the things that he wanted to do. But this is what we're seeing. When people run, special people, special things can happen. But I know you probably say, hey, Blacksmith, kind of sound misogynistic, man. We got all these beautiful black ladies, and let me clap for my sister. On this Valentine's Day, I had to say the best for last and give you love. Because we're going to talk about Lori Lightfoot from Chicago. I know she gets some hate, but she's in an almost unwinnable situation down there in Chicago. Nobody's been able to control that city. It's humongous, and they lost it. Somebody's got to get control. Unfortunately, she tried, but she couldn't. But then we look at that beautiful lady. Don't get mad, Stacey. Keisha Lance Bottoms. I know she's not the mayor of Atlanta no more, but we got to give her a shout out. She probably should have been the vice president, real talk. But with all that being said, we look at the tradition that she held in Atlanta, passing the torch on to another black man, doing great things. Muriel Browser down in Washington, D.C., holding it down, trying to do things in the city that's almost kind of difficult to run because of the jurisdiction level, but a black woman holding it down. But then we got who? We got Kim, oh my goodness, over down in Boston. And when you look at Kim, what you got to do is recognize she's in Boston, Massachusetts. And I know you think a New Edition in Roxbury, but that ain't really what Boston is. So for her to be able to be a mayor and that, it's time. But how can we talk about black mayors, specifically female mayors, if we don't pay homage and tribute to the first black woman mayor? And that's Leila her maiden name was Smith, but her last name is now Foley Davis. And she was elected in 1973, 1 year at the passage of Title IX in 1972. She was elected in Taft, Oklahoma, and this is where it was an all-black population. So they said, well, why won't we do this? And they voted a beautiful black woman, not because she was a woman or to make history, because they thought she could make a difference. And so now what I'm telling you is this: wherever you live, there's voting that's coming up. You want to make sure that you pick the best candidate, not the candidate that looked the best, not the candidate that sounded the best, but the candidate who put their feet on the ground, the people who are not afraid to go even against the masses of the people. When they say, I know you voted me in, but you didn't vote me to say and do what you do. You voted me to do the best. So even if that means going against the grain because I know this is what's best and it might risk me losing my position to be reelected, I'm going to do that. But what about the person, not just a career politician who do it because they don't know what else to do, but because they have a lifelong need to serve? I want you to start thinking about, as you go vote, who are you going to vote for? I'm so excited because in my village of Brown Deer, we got a black woman by the name of Wanda Montgomery. She's running again. I think she's running unopposed, and that's because they know can't nobody beat her because she's doing what she's supposed to do out there. Now, I don't agree with her on everything that she do, but you know what I do? I do agree with that she's trying to do her best for all of the people. And this is the thing. When you work hard for the most ostracized, the most marginalized people, the most oppressed people, by nature, you make it better for everybody. So when you start thinking about for your city, your village, your township, who you gonna vote for? Don't vote for a person because of a name. Don't vote for a person because you like them, but vote for a person who's gonna do the job when the job is hard and nobody else wants to do it. So when we start talking about Black History Month, do we owe it to our ancestors to vote because they died for the right for us to vote? No, but we do got to make sure that we keep the right to vote alive. So as we see the voter suppression here, if you don't want to vote, at least make sure people have the right to vote, that they can't take it away from us. Don't wait until they take it away to want to fight. And then if you do have it, why not utilize it? Even if you think it's a small chance, anything is better than zero. Beloved, on this great day, I want you to go out and love the people who you love. I want you to remember those great names in history that tried to make it better. And when you see somebody working hard, work with them. Don't make them do it alone. Great people can only be great because the masses of people are behind them. So as we go out to vote, go out and vote proudly, and vote knowledgeable. I'm the Blacksmith, and this is Unspeakable Truths 2020-22 Black History Month.